Good morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. It is match day one of the East African Safari T20 2026. Meru against Satima. Let us see what happened in the middle at the toss.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to match day one of the East African Safari T20 Challenge Cup here at Florida Cricket Oval. It's the first match happening between Mountain Satima and Mountain Meru. I have the two captains here with me. Akram Mustafa, the captain for Mountain Satima. I have Conrad Lubuama, the captain for Mountain Meru, and the match umpire Elizabeth Machiwule. We are here for the toss. Heads is the call.
And it is.
And heads is on top. Conrad, please come through very quickly. You've won the toss. What are you going to be doing first and why?
The ball first.
Why are you choosing to bowl first this morning? Match round of the tournament, what should we be looking forward in your team? Go well and enjoy the game. Akram, if you're getting a chance of winning the toss, what are you going to do first and why?
Bat first, so that we set our target and come and defend.
Now that the toss is your one, you're going to bat first, what should you hope going into this game?
You're going to see some good cricket, we are going to set our target and then we come and defend it.
Go well and all the best.
Thank you.
But that is the news coming from the center. Mountain Meru has won the toss and opted to bowl first.
Yes, Ivan Cyprian Sajabi out there in the middle. My name is Solomon Lubuama. We'll be taking you through this first match between Mount Meru and Mount Satima in the East African Challenge. The umpires are out, players are out. That toss going to the wishes of both captains. Soboga Akram of Satima wanted to bat first, while Conrad Lubuama, Mount Satima in the East African Challenge. The Meru, the umpires are out, fast. Players are out, lines are drawn. That toss going to the wishes of both captains. Soboga Akram of Satima wanted to bat first, while Conrad Lubuama, Mount Satima in the East African Challenge. The Meru, the umpires are out, fast. Players are out, lines are drawn. That toss going to the wishes of both captains. Soboga Akram of Satima wanted to bat first. First ball coming up. Right on the money there. Define leg center out and third man. And we have the first runs of this tournament, and it is a boundary for short ball from the bowler, pulled away. Short and drifting down the leg, helped on its way by the batter. Missed out on that one. The bowler adjusting from the leg side, but still short to the batter, trying to cut it over square. And that is the money ball. Dot ball. is a fine morning out here down in Kokonjero at the Florida Cricket Oval. A good day to play cricket. And another one to add to the collection for the bowler in this first over. He has set his field for the offside. He has mid on, covers point and fly slip or gully. That ball beats the man but unable to find the boundary. Good running in between the wickets and they will pick up two. The bowler favoring that wide offside line, and that marks the end of the first over. The score is 6 runs for no loss. Of course, this East African Safari T20 being brought to you by Deep End Sports Media's broadcasting partners, Dafabet, Kingsley Children's Medical Center, the tournament coming right in the right time. The lads are out for the holidays, having been away 3 months doing their studies. You will notice the composition of the teams full of experienced campaigners, coupled with the youngsters, and that is the KPI for this tournament, that youngsters can get opportunities to play with with season campaigners. Nasul Damadi coming in from the highway end. Batter goes for the glorious one but unable to make contacts, and that is a dot ball. That ball keeping low, but another dot ball there. Captain setting an offside field to his bowler. Of course, Mount Meru captain by Conrad Lubuama, under 19 international for Uganda. Some result from that ball. Batter is struggling to put bat to ball. Deep extra cover sent out by the captain to counter that shot from the batter. Tidy over so far from Nasul Damadi coming in from the highway end. Batter trying to go over mid-on, finds the man. Another dot ball. Eventually manages to find the gap through the slippery zone, picks up one, having been bogged down at the striker's end for those couple of balls. Hope Nasul Damadi can finish off his over well. Doing a job for his captain. Very good over there from Nasul Damadi, conceding only one. And that marks the end of the second over. The score is 7 runs for no loss. Very good ball there, beating the man. Almost feathering to the wicket keeper. And doing the good work from the first ball, bowling short and wide, going way beyond the tram lines, and that's an extra to add to the total of the Satima. Of course, 6 teams featuring in this East African Safari T20 tournament: Kilimanjaro, Elgon, Satima, Meru, quick running in there from the wickets, good cover from the fielder, keeps that to 1. A very quiet power play so far. Swing and a miss as Mutwali B. Mustafa adjusts his line. Playing that is quite risky. Might feather that one to the keeper or find third man out there. And another dot ball. The batter swinging that bat hard, making no contact whatsoever. But you feel that runs are needed so far. It's been a very, very quiet power play. And I'm finally joined by the man, the myth, the legend, Ivan Cyprian Sajabi. Welcome, Ivan.
Thank you so much, Solomon, and I'm happy to be here. It's match day 1 of the East African Safari T20. But I tell you, there's nothing you do from the opening bowlers for the Mountain Meru team. They have made sure that they keep bowling the good areas. Mustafa Mutwali bowling in tandem with Damandi Nasul. And you clearly see that they are not allowing these batters to get in runs freely. Now that has been the issue there for Amiri Ocha. Instead of opening up the blade and he cuts, is trying to play it to the onside. Well, that will bring us to the end of the over. 10 for Nolos is the score as we come to the end of the third over. Amiri Ochaya and Geoffrey Kakairo opening the batting for Mountain Satima. Beautiful tournament here, all teams receiving the naming from the different East African mountains. And a beautiful passage of play. You feel that somehow Mountain Meru is already in things. They have conceded only 10 runs in the first 3 overs. And the Madness returns for his second over. That is the good length there, off stump line, forcing them to blow the off and picking up another dot ball. And for Mountain Satima, who won the toss and opted to ball first currently, they are already showing that they are in things because they are backing up their decision by bowling the good areas and making sure nothing easy goes the way of Mountain Satima. And good work, hitting good lengths there, Mountain Meru. Well guided, but straight to the fielder, run out chance. And I love the idea there from Mustafa Mutalibu going for a direct hit. Just missed, giving them a chance for another run.
Ivan, you find that the bowlers have come to the party, bowling very, very tight lines, attacking the wickets.
Delivery, he was so good, spot on making that runs are not coming. So you need to just wait for the ball and just guide it into the gap. They do take another single. Strays and bowls it down the leg, and it is a wide indicated by the umpire. Not sure what the thinking was for Nasul Damandi. He's been bowling outside off stump and not going for many, but again trying to attack, and he's not having too much protection on the onside. So you need to make sure that you're forcing the batters to play on the off, because that's why his protection is. Even down, he has third man and he has another fielder at extra cover. So you need to be bowling that area. Hit straight to the fielder, but they will take the run.
Damadi adjusts his line to go back to the one that brought him good results, offside and well attacking the stumps. And Damadi Ochaya, like you said, realizing that he was not contact and now just trying to glance in the vacant slip area.
Beautiful. Wide on the off, and it is another dot ball. Good thinking there from Nasul Daman, just hitting the good area. Hitting the hard lines there, Nasul Damandi. And again, he keeps it in the same area. Their feet, the batters, and he has made sure that he keeps there to pick up another dot ball.
Good spell there from Nasul Damadi, bringing us to the end of the fourth over. The score is 15 runs on the board for Mount Satima for no long.
The captain having some bit of a long discussion with one of his experienced campaigners in the team. And now might be the time for us to see some bit of spin coming into the attack. Mutwalibu Mustafa momentarily taken out of the attack, and Conrad Lubuama, the captain, getting the ball, replacing him from the forest end. It was a good passage of play, and I'm not sure why Conrad Lubuama went for that early change in the bowling attack, because they were not conceding many runs, but I think now he has started thinking of picking up some bit of
The pace are certainly doing a very good job keeping that run rate very, very low in the first 4 overs. And you don't want, as a captain, for the batter to get used to the ball and the pacing of shots there. First ball from Conrad Lubuama, dispatched away for a boundary for it's a bit short and wide, and the batter using his feet quite well. That is a no ball. Flighted well. And received the maximum treatment. First boundary maximum of this tournament and of this match. Free hit. Up. The batter unable to unleash more punishment upon Conrad Lubuama, only managing to find the man at middle. Sorry, middle. Opportunity to catch, but that ball sails way above the boundary for another boundary maximum. And as Ivan opined, there was no need to change the bowlers. The batters now feeling that this is the over to attack in the power play, the penultimate over of the power play. Hits that hard straight to the man at covers, who is equal to the task. And you feel that some acceleration is now coming in from the Satima batters. Quicker ball there. Batter tries to play on the back foot, but results in a dot ball. Good contest there. Dot ball marks the end of the 5th over. And with that acceleration in that over, the score is now a respectable 32 runs for no loss for Mount Satima. Mount Meru winning the toss and choosing to bat. Satima and Meru bowling us off this morning in the East African T20 2026. Final over of the power play. Eric Mukisa comes in from the highway end. So spin coming in tandem. As so often we have seen, bowlers now having that trick up their sleeve to see what the batter is trying to do. Flighted ball, unable to be put away by Amidi Ochaya. Plays that off his feet. Quick running in between the wickets. Ochaya using his feet well to get to the pitch of that ball. A comedy of errors out there in the middle. The batter trying to run off. Wicketkeeper unable to complete the the run out when he had all the time. Needless from the batter there. Good ball, draws the batter forward, keeps him honest. Batter can only find the fielders. And no runs on offer so far. Slower ball, flighted. Well played by the batter to keep it out. And a good over from Eric Mukisa, bringing us to the end of 6 overs and the power play. The score is 33 runs for no loss for Mount Satima, scoring at just above 5, as we saw them accelerate in the 5th over, attacking the bowling of the captain, Conrad Lubuama. And there will be another bowling change coming in from the Forest end. Starts off with the dot ball. Ochaya trying to guide that ball through the slip region. Dropped, bowled it short. Batter tried to pull it, but could only manage to find him. But the bowler unexpectedly drops that one. Has another look at that. Could only find the middle of the bat. Rising ball to the batter, unable to be collected by the keeper. Bye is indicated by umpire Elizabeth Nachibule. Finds a gap, quick running in between the wickets. Opportunity to run out, but the man well in. there. That has been his go-to shot throughout the innings so far. And this time round he manages to go past the fielder at covers. Ball keeps low. And they pick up a bye for that. Field changes taking place. Conrad Lubuama and Eric Mukisa patrolling mid-on and mid-off. Sends out cow corner. Andrew Hajaguju comes into the bowling attack from the highway end. The batter Trisco playing on that ball, no pace whatsoever to play with, trying to cut it. Uses his feet to get to the pitch of the ball, deposits that beyond the boundary. Another boundary maximum. Flighted. Good foot movement from the batter. And you feel that this is the acceleration that Mount Satima batters needed. Quicker and wide from Andrew Hajuguju. Conrad Lubuama in the deep keeps that one. Short ball. A lot of variety on offer from Hajuguju. Bowling it slow, but yet to attack the wickets in this over. And that is better now. Fields off his own bowling for a precious dot ball. Well played. Cut hard over covers for boundary for this over proving to be very expensive to Mount Meru and Andrew Juguju. But end of the 8th over, the score is 48 runs for no loss. We apologize for the technical issues that we are experiencing, that we are unable to display the scores, but our technical team is doing all it can to rectify that. There has been a spike in the run rate for the Satima batters, realizing that they did not fully utilize the power play, but going now comfortably, scoring, running in between the wickets. Full and wide, but the batter only manages to play that back to the bowler for another dot ball. The cleaner job is well and truly on from the Mount Meru bowlers, having been put away in overs number 5, 6 and 7. Field at point keeps that to 1. The East African Safari T20, of course, featuring 6 teams: Mount Meru, Mount Satima, Kilimanjaro, Elgon, Renzori and Karisimbi. Teams playing each other twice, and at the end we will have a champion. Thick edge through gully adds 1 to the total, and you feel that now the batters are comfortable and getting into their groove, able to rotate strike, putting bat to ball, and their troubles in the power play are well and truly behind them.
Those are much better lanes. They are being bowled by Eric Matov, making sure that the batters are stuck in their crease. But as we come to the end of the 9th over, score is 51 for no loss. The 2 batters have stuck in Geoffrey Kakaire alongside Amiri Ochaya, but somehow they are slightly behind the par because They will need a little more runs. They are taking care of the wicket column very well, which is okay. But at the moment, they will need to make sure that they get some runs. 29 and 16 for the two batters at the crease, respectively. As Ashraf Andrew Hajuguju comes back into the attack.
His first over went for quite plenty, and I'm surprised the skipper has given him another over, but of course there has been some dew this morning on the field, and some bowlers have found it hard gripping that ball.
And when you look at the conditions of the pitch, yesterday the league game which was supposed to be here between Ismaili Community and Meru Cricket Club was abandoned because of the wet outfield. But then because the sun came out later in the day, it dried a bit to set us up for this interesting clash. Well, Andrew might have gone for many in his first over, but somehow he is a wicket taker. So as a captain, you will fancy him to come and make sure that he takes the wickets for you.
Some housekeeping there by the umpires, adjudging the condition of the ball, bringing temporary stop in play. Mount Meru had a very good power play, you would say, Ivan.
And now you think that because they have 9 wickets, it's time for them to try and make sure that they accelerate. Their projected score of 113 may not be so defendable. Last time we had here 130, 145 was always defendable.
Yes, the pass score for T20 on this pitch being that magical 130, 140. You have a fighting chance. Andrew Hajaguju from the highway end.
He went for 11 in his first, and now he returns, shimming down the track, and he hits it, but he might have hit it straight to the fielder. Conrad Lubuama with a fine stop, and the only single they will do take. The way he flings his ball, you feel like they are balls to hit, but somehow it doesn't come out so easy for you to hit many of them.
No pace whatsoever on the ball and flighted, so you have to middle it well.
And he goes pace off. A bit sloppy there from Mutwalibu Mustafa. What would have been a dirty ball results into a single run. And when you look at the pitch for Ashraf Ajuguju, he has an extra cover fielder, longer on, longer off, cow corner, and deep square leg, all patrolling the boundary. So he will be making sure that he forces them to hit to his field. 2 singles at the start of the over. Already in the 50s. And Ashraf Andrew returning back to ball again. Just off the edge of Eastafrica. Kaire is over, but you feel that he played the shot a little late. He need to commit to the front side.
Bowling that under the eye line of the batter. Very effective, you would say.
Off 23 for Amiri Ochaya and 35 of 34 for Geoffrey Kakaire. Create some Roman cuts, but we will find the field at extra cover, and just a single they will do take. The flights offered there by Andrew are working out for his team, and you feel that somehow they missed something in that field placement. If the field at covers was standing towards the point side, maybe he could have cut off that boundary, but because he was standing a little wide, it didn't give him the chance of cutting off the boundary. Created room to hit it to the on, but missed it completely. They do take the run, a single run, and the umpire confirms that it's a run because initially the batter was standing at that place where the ball was bowled, so it wasn't adjudged weight by the umpire. The two umpires standing in this game, two female umpires who are first growing, Elizabeth Nachovole alongside Rest Nalumansi.
They're gaining invaluable experience. This is their second tournament.
Yeah, that dirty ball again there by Ashraf Andrew. Somehow he knows that he went for many in the first, and when he returns, he's made sure that he keeps bowling the good areas. Not so many in the over. And as we come to the end of the over, 56 for no loss is the score.
Halfway mark of this first match of the East African Safari T20 between Mount Meru and Mount Satima. Mount Meru winning the toss, electing to bowl first. Bowled so well in the power play, and there's been a comeback from the batters Kakaire and Ochaya for Satima. Starts off with a wide, Matovu.
Back waits there for Eric Matova as he returns to bowl his third over. He's so far gone for only 5 in his first two. That means he's been hitting the good areas, but somehow he is overcompensating and giving those weights outside off stump.
And doing all the good work so far. It's more about line and precision.
A little full on the wide line and hit down to the covers by Geoffrey Kakaira. They are taking on the arm of the fielder, and they will take the 2 runs. That was a bit of sloppy fielding from the Mount Satima batters. I beg your pardon, that's the Mount Meru fielders who are a bit sloppy, giving away a little many.
Clean bowled. Eric Matov finding his line. Unplayable ball. And the first wicket falls. Kakaire departs.
That was a good delivery there coming in from Eric Matovu. He made a shimmy across, but that ball angling back and knocking middle stump. And the wicket, the first one falls for Mountain Satima. Good work there by Eric Matovu. He angled it in back, some bit of a reverse swing, making sure that he puts the wickets in play, and he manages to pick up the first wicket. 1 brings 2, and they will be happy that they have a wicket already in the bag, with the projected score still reading 114. Look at that ball there. Pitched it to the 4th stump and it angled back, making an early shot across the stump, trying to drive, but in the end managing to close the line of the ball, and just like that he perishes.
Very good comeback from Matovu, having bowled 2 wides at the beginning of the over. He's a gun bowler, as we've seen him in previous tournaments. A man who will do a job for you, and right on the money, right in this first match of the East African T20. East African Safari T20, I beg your pardon. We are down deep here in the region of Nkokonjeru, Uganda, East Africa.
The new batter in, Richard Sohera, replacing Geoffrey Kakaire. Richard Sohera, another left-handed batter in this tournament, but one of those few batters who can get for you runs. He now comes in to try and make sure that he carries on the job, and somehow Mountain Meru will be happy that they have a new batter on strike, so they will be hoping they can hit the good areas. Matovu coming right arm round for the left-handed batter to the pads. There was an appeal, some bit of slow movement there from Richard Sohera, and the umpire says that could have gone on to hit the stumps. LBW, the left-handed batter, comes and he goes. One brings two, as two fall quickly for Mountain Satima.
Great work there from Eric Matovu, opting to come right arm round to the left-handed Sohera, who lives without troubling the scorers. Now on for a hat-trick, Eric Matovu. 59 for 2 to Mount Satima.
It was a very good plan there from Matovu Eric. The new batter has made his way to the crease. Make sure that you keep the stumps in play. He comes and he goes because he's trapped LBW. Always when you've just walked in, you have some bit of slow foot movement. So it was really good to see that Matovu Eric kept the stumps into play. And that sets up another exciting delivery there yet to come from Eric Matovu, because it is a hat-trick ball for him to bowl. What a beautiful delivery there. Coming right arm round, and look at that one. He made a shuffle across the stumps. Wanted to play it on the onside and the ball strayed on. The umpire had nothing to do for him but to give him out. And out he goes. One left-handed batter goes and another one comes. Oh, sorry, it's a right-handed batter who is in for Mountain Satima.
When he came in, the way he posed, you would think he's left-handed, but Eddie Agaba, Newman in. Hat-trick ball for Eric Matovu. And you can feel the excitement in the air.
Right arm over for Eddie Agaba, and it's a hat-trick ball. You should be happy that good that one got off his blade. But it is a dot ball, much needed and much wanted there by Mountain Meru.
In his first over, Matovu dropped a return catch, but he has made up for that miss.
With it on the offer, and that is sliced away. Slow outfield. Eddie Agaba took off thinking maybe it could have been a boundary. He's pushing for the second run out chance. Miles away, and the umpire raises up the finger. Another wicket, another comedy of errors as Mountain Satima lose another wicket.
Terrible, terrible running in from Eddie Agaba. They tell you never run when the man has the ball in hand, chancing the arm of the fielder who manages to dart it in, and the wicket keeper completing the job. Needless run out, you would say. And the very interesting passage of play as Mount Meru tries to reassert themselves on this first encounter of the East African Safari T20.
Done by the fielder right in the deep. The pick up, the throw was right spot on. The hesitation between the two batters leading them into trouble. Eddie Agaba comes and Eddie Agaba goes. Someone was looking to be in good shape, and look at the first two shots that he played. But in the end, he ran himself into a high traffic area, and now wicket stumbling in this over. But what an over there from Eric Matovu. We started with 2 wides, a double, wicket, dot ball, single, and another wicket. Brilliant work there from the young man who is bowling for Mountain Meru.
Matov proving to be that difference maker in the team. Might not have got the wicket, but he caused that wicket falling to a run out. And they will bowl the last ball of his third over.
Yaba Mturaki Roy Keane is the new batter in. Slices one through the cover area. Roy Keane Mturaki, but it will just pick up the madness at extra cover. Just a single to end the over. And as the over comes to an end, 61 for 3 is the score after 11 overs. Out of the attack is the man who has been bowling some good slow spin in Ashraf Andrew Hajuguju, and in Asif Sia is into the attack. Beats everyone. It beats the batter. It beats the wicket keeper. And just a chance for runs. Not very good glove work there coming in from the wicket keeper.
The expression from Sia Nasif will tell you how close that was to cleaning out the batter.
This time round onto the bat and down to long on for a single.
Amidia, which has been there for a while, but managing so far 12 of 27. Good ball there from Nasif. Balls it wide. There is no deep extra cover, and you would feel that that was the shot which I was trying to play, beat the ring, and that ball will rest off to the boundary. That is wide. The captain, realizing the intention of the batter, sends out deep extra cover. He has the mid-wicket, cow corner, long off and long on. Good bowling so far from the lanky Sia Nasif. Attacking the stumps from the first ball.
He's been bowling good areas. He could have done better to stop that one there, but there is a run-out chance. Oh, he was a few meters away. I mean, Ocha, if that had been a direct hit, but in the end they will take the single.
Good work all around. Quick running in between the wickets. The bowler also keeps that, gets leg to that ball to keep it down.
Wide. But I don't like the idea that Roy Keane could have made reach to that one. If it is a way that it's T20 cricket and you can send it to the boundary, I think you always have to go for it. But it is a wide there for Nasif Sia. Pace off. Thought he was committing to go hard at it, but it is a dot ball. Good start for Sia. Just 4 in his first. And at the end of the 12, 67 for 3 is the score. Eric Matov coming back to bowl his final over. Projected score still reading 112. He so far bowled 3 overs and considered 11, picking up 2 wickets. Bit of a creeper, but not good glove work there from Daniel Muhumuza. He's been a bit costly behind the stumps, and so many runs, so many balls have gone through him, and that's another bye onto the total.
When Matov is bowling, it is all action out there in the middle, and you feel that something can happen in any given moment. Bowled so well so far. Very, very tight lines.
Another dot ball in the over there for Eric Matovu. Goldie dust. And I tell you, the current passage of play puts this game so much in favor of the fielding team, because they are making sure that they hit the good areas and keep the batters in check, not giving anything away easy. Another dot ball in the over. Good work there from Matovu. Making him stuck in his crease for another dot ball. Much needed over there for Eric Matovu, keeping the batters in check. And I tell you now, the dot ball pressure will turn to the end of the batting team, and they may lead themselves into giving away some wickets.
Certainly a good spell from Matovu, attacking those stumps. Bamturaki opting for the big shots, but being beaten by pace all the time. Matovu keeps him honest on that ball, draws him forward. Bamturaki able to hit a long ball when he gets in, so I think he's taking some time to adjust and look to explode in the remaining overs.
Final ball of the over. Cleans him up. Top of bells. He only removes the bells, Eric Matovu. But what a way to wrap up the over and the spell. He picks up his 3rd wicket as he adds a little more havoc onto the batting lineup.
Trying to caught in between coming forward and defending, only manages to miss the ball. Right on the money there. No greater ball from a fast bowler you want to see. Bails off. Eric Matovu completes his spell, conceding only 11 runs, picking up 3 wickets. The difference maker so far for the Mount Meru side. And at the end of the 13th over, the score is 68 for the loss of 4.
What a brilliant spell there from Eric Matovu. He's bowled 4, considered only 11 runs, and he's picked up 3 wickets, wrapping up his spell with another wicket. And now we see the captain for Mountain, Satima, Akramun Subuga, making his way to the crease. Nasif Sia returns to bowl his 2nd over from the road end. Current run rate 5.23, and the projected score dropping down from 112 to 105. 4 wickets falling around Amiri Ochaya. A bit of a feather, but it doesn't carry to the fielder. Not a very brilliant effort there from the fielder, and they do take the single.
The captain has been in the hut, seeing what's been going on, and we are yet to see what he has on offer. Starts off with a single through the mid-on region. No pace to work with for the batter. Sia Nassif right on the money there. Flights one there. A thick edge out, thick outside edge. Man at sleep keeps that red dot ball. The squeeze truly on from the Mount Meru fielders. Finds the gap, but the boundary rider should keep that to one. Hopefully there is still some batting left for the Mount Satima side. Otherwise, they are in danger of posting a low score. Good ball there to complete the over. Dot ball for Sia Nassif. 71 for the loss of 4 after 14.
What a brilliant over there from Nassif Sia. And that's the ball that wrapped up the over, creating some bit of room to cut, but not in position. Nassif Sia's 2 overs have gone for only 7 runs. Nsubuga Akram on 1 of 2 and Amiri Ochaya is on 15 of 35. That strike rate is not so good. But as we come to the end of the 14th, it's 71 for 4 with the projected score dropping from 105 in the previous over to 101. And I think now they will be making sure that they come back and hit out of the blocks. Mountain Satima add more runs on total that they can come out and bowl at. But Nassau the man who has so far bowled 2 overs and conceded 7 will now be back into the attack for Mountain Meru.
A change of bowling heads for Adamadi. He had great success in the power play coming from the highway end. Sends out long off and long on. Cow corner, deep square. Quick running in there from Akram Subuga. Pick up a precious run there. Mount Satima. You feel that this is the phase that they need to accelerate, add more runs to the board, probably breach that 100 run mark, and then come bowl with all they got. Good figures so far for Damadi, conceding only 7 in his previous 2 overs. Add that solitary 1 in the first ball. A man who is able to both ball spin and some pace. So the man coming out tried to beat him, going wider. Some improvement needed from the glove man there. Those byes relieve all the pressure created by the batter. Good running, good fielding there from the man at square leg, snuffling out that possible run. Damadi strays to the leg side. Batter shapes for that. Umpire indicates wide. No need to gift the opposition when you have them where you want them.
Yeah, Damadi will be just hoping that he can bowl close to the batter, which has 16 of 37. Somehow he's stuck in and taken care of the wicket column. But now what is much needed is the number of runs that they can do add on the total. But the wides, they are coming as gold dust for Mountain Satima.
When you look at Damadi at the completion of his bowling action, he's trying to push that ball, but ends up right in the middle of the pitch, which sends the ball further down the leg side. Keeper beaten by that feather, and bad work gives them another. What would have been a single turns into a double. The wicketkeeper needs to get his head right into this game.
Yeah, Daniel Omohums has been giving away many behind the stumps. He will need to make sure that he does the nitty-gritty work to keep Mountain Meru in the game. Well, they have been bowling some tight spells, but he will need to keep it a little tighter. But this is the first edition of the East African Safari T20 Cup happening here at Florida Cricket Oval. Dufferbet, Deep End Sports Media, and Kings the Children's Medical Center being the sponsors of this inaugural edition. 2 more balls remaining in this over by Nasul Damadi. Nasul Damadi still hitting the good areas, and now it will be just 1 more ball to wrap up the over.
Amiri Ochai has favored that shot throughout the innings. Hasn't received much reward. As you can see, it's 18 in 39, and you feel that he should be going on to post some more runs for his side.
Final ball of the over, touch and go off the inside edge, and at the end of the 15th, 78 for 4 is what Mountain Satima has on board.
Sia Nassif continues from the highway end. Glorious shot from Amiri Ochaya. Only manages to pick up a single. Eric Mukisa at long off keeps it within the ropes.
Yeah, Sia back for his third. He's so far gone for 8 in the first 2. Akram also got creating room to hit, and that ball keeps to be straying on to the stumps. But I love the areas that Nasif has been bowling. Now he's bowling it straight and keeping it stump to stump, making sure that the wickets are in play for each and every delivery. If he goes across the line, Akram Sobuga, he will get bowled. Akram goes hard but misses. There was an appeal of the stamping, but the umpire says no. His foot was right in the crease.
Great glove work finally from Humuza, but Sobuga mindful to keep his foot back in the crease. Quick leg work, you would say, from Sobuga. Gets his leg down in time. But brilliant spell from Nassif so far. Flights that one up. Opportunity to catch. Falls well short of the man at long off. Goes inventive Ochaya, nowhere near the pitch of that ball, trying to reverse sweep it. Shuffles on to the offside, turns that ball onto the onside. Conrad Lubuama, the captain, keeps that to a single.
And that single brings us to the end of the over. 16 gone and 81 for 4 is the score. The current passage of play, Mountain Satima picking only singles. And it is at a time where they will be need to making sure that they pick some boundaries, add as many as they can in the remaining 4 overs to make sure that they get a total that they can come out and defend. 21 of 43 for Mil Ochaya and 2 of 6 for Akramon Sovoga, the current batters at the crease for Mountain Satima.
Bowling change from the Forest end as Eric Mukisa has ball in hand. Mount Satima just 19 away from the magical 100 run mark. Changes are plenty in the field. Cow corner, long on, long off. As boundary riders, has a tight ring on the offside point, covers, and the gully.
Yeah, it is Mukisa Eric who changes bowling ends, and now he comes to bowl. But a double to start off the over. Mukisa Eric went for only 1 run in his first over. Now he returns. Now the idea for Mountain Meru is how they wrap up the over. I beg your pardon, the innings in as an overall.
Ochaya realizing that there is a wide gap on the leg side at fine leg, glances that and they pick up 2 off the first ball. Great comeback from Mukisa, bowling to his offside field.
Trying to create room and eat on the off. I beg your pardon, on the onside, but just a single. They do take sloppiness as they come through for the second. There was an appeal of a run out, but the umpire says not out. Some good running there and good awareness. As soon as Amir Ocha hit the ball, you saw that there was sloppiness by the fielder. The fielder standing right at the mid-wicket area, and they took on his arm to pick up the second run.
Of course, Ochaya and Akram very fleet-footed in between the wickets, so the Mount Meru fielders cannot afford any mishaps at all. Clean pickups, that ball back into the keeper or the bowler's side.
Another side edge and another dotty ball. Projected score now 102. Not so defendable. They will need to accelerate a bit and get some more runs. Touch and go. Dabbing that one well to the mid-wicket area, and they will only take a single. And so Akram turning down that run, and you feel that somehow the run was there for taking.
Sobuga opting to retain strike. Opportunity to catch, and that is completed. Akram Subuga will have to depart for only 2 in 6. And you realize that before he faced that ball, he had a look onto the onside, and you felt that that was the shot he was going to play. But good work from the man in the deep who completes that catch.
And Akram Subuga returning strike meant that he wanted to force things a bit. But in the end, he manages elevation and not distance. And the catch is taken to see him off. They lose the 50th wicket, Mountain Satima. And as we come to the end of the 17th over, 86 for 5 is what the scoreboard reads.
Match day 1 of East African Safari T20 Tournament 2026, proudly brought to you by Kingsley Children's Medical Center, Mukono Cricket Community, Deep End Sports Media, streaming and broadcasting partners, Dafabit, and of course, Cricket Uganda. Match day 1, Mount Meru against Mount Satima. Evening match will be between Kilimanjaro and Elgon, and of course, not to mention the other participants in this tournament, Renzori and Mount Karisimbi. Sia Nassif to complete his spell. Tight spells so far from him. Starts off with a dot ball.
Hit it straight to the fielder, Eric Mukisa, and he takes a catch. In the end, it is another wicket. And it is Amiri Ochaya who has been holding the innings together for the side, who falls. The slow bowlers doing the magic for Mountain Meru.
Good catch there from Eric Mukisa. And you feel that Ochaya was trying to accelerate, uses his feet, creates room, but can't clear the ropes. The waiting hands of Eric Mukisa. Welcome that. Another one bites the dust for the Satima. 86 for 5. Good reward to Sia Nassif, who has attacked those wickets, ball tight lines, and caused lots of havoc to the Satima batters. With the fall of Amiri Ochaya, Mugisha Victor makes his way to the center. He comes and he goes. No trouble to the scorers. A tame catch back to the bowler, who now has a prospect of a hat-trick.
A brilliant work there from Nassif Sia. Caught and bowled. As he goes, but look at that one there, right back to the fielder, and Nassif Sia with a brilliant take. Another wicket goes for the Mountain Sativa. The screws are even being tightened further by Mountain Meru. Mountain Meru won the toss and opted to bowl first, and now the current passage of play working out in their favor as they are making sure that they take all their chances and pick up the wickets to keep the pressure on. 85, I beg your pardon, 86 for 5. Sorry, 86 for 7.
A good spell so far from Sera Nassif. Getting rid of 2 Satima batters. Great opportunity for the first hat-trick in this tournament. New man in with 3 balls to navigate.
3 balls to navigate, but first of all it will be a hat-trick ball. Davis Wanyama is the new man in. Go and make sure that he navigates the hat-trick ball. All fielders on their toes for the new man. Nassif Sia taking his time to bowl the hat-trick ball. Hit away and hitting the gap a little full. A little, not a very good ball there from Nassif Sia. You need to make sure that you extract some turn off the surface. And Davis Wanyama, the new man, is off the mark.
Yes, a lawful toss from Nassif. I think trying to go for the Yorker. Unable to complete his hat-trick, but a good spell so far.
Right into the block hole, and another dot ball for Nassif Sia. At least if Nassif Sia is not conceding runs, if he's not taking wickets, he's not conceding runs.
Surprised the batter with that quick full toss. And the dot ball will mark the end of his spell. Fine figures for the tall, lanky spinner Sera Nassif, bringing us to the end.
What an over there from Nassif Sia. He's really made sure that he keeps it tight, take the wickets and keep the pressure on. And as we come to the end of the 18th over, 87 for 7 is what the scoreboard reads. That's 2 runs in that over there by Nassif Sia. Two more overs remaining in this innings. Ladies and gentlemen, from wherever you're catching this game, this is the East African Safari T20 Cup happening here at Florida Cricket Oval. Mukisa Eric will be bowling the second last over. A station between the batters, and they will not take the run. Davis Wanyama Red stuck in his crease, not making an attempt to run. Long on, long off, cow corner. Deep mid wicket, all at the boundary. There is an appeal of LBW, and the umpire says yes. Davis Wanyama trapped. LBW wanted to go for a booming hit. Didn't quite time the ball well. And another wicket for Mountain Satima goes.
Another look at that. Ball hits the back leg fully in line with the wickets, leaving the umpire no choice whatsoever but to raise a finger. Mount Meru want to wrap this up quickly. Of course, Mount Meru won the toss and opted to bowl first. Had a brilliant power play. Satima tried to get some runs in the middle overs, but now at the back end of this innings, Mount Meru right back on top.
Bokisa Eric still bowling some good areas. Mugisha Victor is the new batter in, trying to force things at the moment for Mountain Satima. Mountain Satima's innings have failed to get going. A little full and sliced away. They are running. Can they come for two? Yes. Victor Mugisha off the mark with a double. Bit of a googly and off the inside edge of the bat for a dot ball to mark at the end of the over. Just 2 runs in the over. And as we come to the end of the over, 89 for 8 is what the scoreboard reads after 19 overs as we get into the final over of the first innings.
Final over of the first innings of game number 1 on match day 1 of the East African Safari T20 Cup.
Yeah, Mustafa Mtwali becoming to bowl the final over. Look at that there. Shuffling across the subs, Trevor Ngoli. But it is a dot ball to start off the final over. Good adjustment there from Mustafa Mtwali, keeping him stuck in his ideas. Oh, a clean pick-up and directed throw could have given them a wicket, but in the end they do take the run. Ashraf Andrew not holding onto it. Cleaned him up. Not good movement of the feet there by Victor Mugisha. Taking away his foot from the line of the ball, exposing his stumps. And Mutwalibu Mustafa with the wicket. The 9th goes for Mount Satima.
Great. room. Good stuff.
Stephen Othieno is the final batter to make his way from the heart of Mount Satima, and somehow you feel that they have been struggling throughout the game. 86 for 5. I beg your pardon.
But you know, Steven, the new man, unable to pierce the ring on the offside. Mutwafa Mustali sorry, getting my tongue twisted by the name of the bowler. Good work from the young man who picks up his first runs.
Yeah, brilliant work there from Stephen Othieno, driving one down the ground, and he manages to take the single. Mountain Satima not getting runs come their way. Bit of a leading edge, but down to covers, and they will do take the single, and that single will bring us to the end of the batting innings. Mountain Meru have won the toss in this game and opted to bowl first, and they have made sure that in the entire game they keep the Mountain Satima batters in check. 38 of 38 for Geoffrey Kakay. He opened the batting alongside Amir Ocha, who scored 26. But nothing much to talk about the rest of the batting scorecard. 17 extras have been bowled away, a little many for Mountain Meru. But in the wickets column was Matov Eric with the 3 wickets. Mukisa Eric and Sia Nasif picked up 2 apiece. 90 runs will be needed by Mountain Meru for victory. We will take a short break and we will come back. Enjoy the highlights for now.
A very good morning to you once again. My name is Solomon Lubuama Chigozi. Here at Florida Cricket Oval in Kokonjeru, it is the East African Safari T20 Cup, Mount Meru versus Mount Satima. At the beginning of the day, Mount Meru won the toss, chose to bowl first, have restricted Mount Satima to 92. The second innings will commence shortly. This tournament proudly brought to you by Kingsley Children's Medical Center in Mukono, Deep End Sports Media, the broadcasting and streaming partners, organized by Mukono Cricket Community, and of course, superintended by Cricket Uganda. Lots of cricket action coming your way in this cup. 6 teams featuring in this edition: Meru, Satima, Kilimanjaro, Elgon, Renzori, Karisimbi. The first innings, batters unable to come to the party except for Kakaire, Geoffrey and Ochaya, the opening pair. And it will be the first ball of the second innings coming up shortly. Good bowling from Matovu Eric, 3 for 11, Mukisa Eric, 2 for 8, and Sia Nasif, 2 for 11. But it is now the second innings to commence, to see who will win the first game on match day number 1. "93 runs needed, and it is Conrad Lubuama with Edgar Mudola. First ball from Geoffrey Kakaire starts off with a wider one away from the bat of Conrad Lubuama. Good work from the man at mid-off, keeping that to 1. First runs off for the Mount Meru squad. The required rate, of course, being under 5, and you feel that this is achievable for the Mount Meru side, but the bowlers and fielders from Mount Satima will have something to say about that. The bowler makes adjustments, sends out deep square, brings the man from deep fine leg to fine leg. Good running in between wickets there. Picks up a quick single. Fielders found with their feet stuck in mud in the ring. Unlike the Mount Satima batters, you expect to see a rotation of wickets. Try to use the power play. Goes hard, Lubuama. A deep mid wicket, picks up 2. Lubuama favors the big shot when the ball is there to be hit. Good comeback there from the bowler. Swing and a miss from Conrad Lubuama. And before you know it, it is the final ball of the first over. Very good ball. Well left from Lubuama. First over done and dusted. 4 runs for the loss of no wicket for Mount Meru. Mount Satima would take to borrow a leaf from the boring of Mount Meru during the power play. Restricted them to under 3 and only managed to break the shackles in the 6th and 7th over. Akram Subuga, the captain of the side, will bowl off from the highway end. Watch out for his variety, quicker balls, variations. Continues to adjust his field before he can bowl his first ball. Dot ball to start us off. Opportunity to catch. That shuffle to the offside meant the ball coming quicker to the batter. Tries to play it through, almost gifting a catch to the bowler. Pick up one. More adjustments from Akram Subuga. Slip point, cover point, covers all in place. And Lubuama goes aerial right over long on. First boundary maximum of the second innings. Vacant mid-wicket area. Ball played there by Lubuama to add to his tally and his team's tally. Plays that one well off his feet. Pick up a double. Subuga Akram should adjust his line back to the offside because he has only 3 fielders on the onside. fine leg, mid wicket and long mid on, sorry. That's better. No pace to work with for the batter. And 10 coming off the first over from Nsubuga. 14 for no loss after 2 overs. Another look at the boundary maximum in the second innings of Conrad Lubuama. The batter not yet ready. That is wide. An effort ball from Geoffrey Kakaire, but missing his line. Balls it short over length. A pressure good ball there. Good fielding in there from the man in gully. No runs or no far. You feel that the fielders from Mount Satima realized that the total that they had put on the board was well below par, and they need to field heart and soul, keep that and apply pressure from the word go. Back-to-back dot balls will have Conrad Lubuama thinking, trying to use the pace of the bowler via the point and gully region. Should pick up one to that. Loikin Bamturaki out at long off. Great work there from Lubuama, not allowing to be bogged down on one side, rotating the strike after those back-to-back balls. Better line from Kakaire. Thick slice there. Subuga Akram under that one. First wicket falls for Mount Meru. Edgar Mudola departs for a paltry 4 in 6 balls. 16 for the loss of 1 after 3 overs. Another look at that. His feet nowhere near that ball, and trying to access the onside, but a thick edge finds the man at covers. You can see in your frame Akram Subuga marshalling his troops, encouraging them that they are still in this fight. It is not a foregone conclusion. The equation is 77 runs required and 102 balls for Mount Meru if they are to emerge victorious in this first game of this East African Safari T20 Cup. But they have a lot of Mount Satima have a lot of bowling depth in their ranks. Loikimba Mturaki is a bowler. Otieno, Steven, off spinner. They also have Victor Mugisha, but it is Akram Subuga continuing from the highway end. Starts off with a dot ball. New man in is Eric Mo. Took 2 wickets, but now in to do some batting. Uses his feet well and pulls that ball just beyond deep square, sorry. Another boundary. Great shuffle there. Meant that the ball was now in the body line of Conrad Lubuama and he dispatched it away to the leg side. Deep wicket out there for the bowling of Akram Subuga. Also sends out long on. Another boundary, and it is a maximum this time. Conrad Lubuama going to his favored pull shot on one knee. He's a quick scorer when he gets in. That ball right in the slot, but plays it brilliantly well over the rope to the onside. A man has been placed close to where those two balls have been deposited, and we are going to see what Lubuama has in store. Goes offside now. Opportunity to catch. Missed by Loikimba Muturaki and picks up another boundary. Good effort from Loikim. That ball onto his left side needed to run to make up ground. Didn't middle that one well. Opportunity offered, opportunity not taken, but great effort still from the man running in from mid-off. Cut powerfully there. No need to run. Conrad Lubuama in the mood for boundaries. A look at that over from Subuga. We'll see from the second ball, conceding only boundaries. 4-6, 4-4. Final ball of this second over from Subuga. Slower ball. Well played. Lubuama rides that one to the gully area. Keeps strike. End of the fourth over. 35 for the loss of 1. Conrad Lubuama, a quick 30 so far in 17 balls. Eric Mukisa yet to get off the mark. Look at the maximum there from Conrad Lubuama in your frame. Those boundaries. A slightly overcast Florida cricket oval, and I think Lubuama has one eye on the weather and the sky doesn't want to be caught up if there is a turn in the weather. A bowling change from the forest end. Richard Sohera comes into the attack. Penultimate over of the power play. The skipper Akram Subuga for the Mount Satima side continues with the changes. Goes to covers. Long on the boundary rider and deep cover. Good call there from Eric Mukisa to get on strike. Good single. Nowhere to run for Eric Mukisa, trying to guide that ball down the leg side. And will we see a change in fortunes with a change in pace for the Mount Satima side? Ball goes to the fielder, but they are still able to make that run. Very good that the batters are not being locked up on one end. Rotate the strike as much as you can. Sohera follows Lubuama there, trying to play it through gully. A much better over there from the previous one from Sohera. Trying to go inventive. The cries come out more in hope, as he was completely out of. The ball hits him when he's out of the line of the wickets. Scoop shot. Obadi fine for 4 runs. Lubuama adds to his tally. Six runs coming off Richard Sohera's first over. 41 for the loss of 1 after 5. Current run rate 8.20. 52 needed in 90 balls. Seems an easy task right now, but you can never rule out any side. You feel that a break in any partnership might bring more fortune to Mount Satima. Change in bowler at the highway end. Starts off with a short one pulled by the tall man with long levers, Eric Mukisa. 6 runs. Agaba Eddie, welcome to the bowling with a maximum from Mukisa. Quicker ball there. Good comeback. Dot ball. The pressure, of course, being firmly back on the bowler with the first ball going for a maximum. Another shorter ball finds the man in the deep, keeps it to 1. That short ball was not punished. Googly. Premeditated shot looked like from Lubuama. Straight back over the head of the bowler. 4 runs there. Lubuama has been able to manipulate the field settings, finding the gaps here and there. That is his favorite shot, and that will bring another maximum. .45 now so far for Conrad Lubuama in 24 balls. Score is 58 for the loss of 1. After the power play. Great stuff there from Mount Meru in their quest Eddie Agaba's first over going for 17, and now the right into the stands. That ball was deposited. A look at the highlights there of the power play, the boundaries from the blade of Lubuama and Mukisa and Mudola. Kakairi back into the attack. Straight drive there. Good work from Bamturaki. Keeps that one. You can see the effort there from Bamturaki for his team. And that will give them as much encouragement as they want. Field restrictions, of course, lifted. Deep mid-wicket sent out. Long on as well. Changing bowling end to right arm round. Kakairi trying to vary the angle at which is coming to bowl to Lubuama. Man who looks set. Good ball. But I will have to eat my words as the umpire indicates it's a no ball. Should be a foot fault there from the bowler. Opportunity for Lubuama to fist and capitalize. Maximum to bring up his 50 in aggressive style. Conrad Lubuama, man who looks to be in form, punishes that no ball from Kakairi. Sorry, the free hit. Lubuama seems to be in a hurry to finish this game in double quick time. Doesn't connect cleanly there. Picks up one. Clean up by Mugisha Victor coming in from deep mid-wicket. I would love to see Stephen Otieno come into the bowling attack. But before that, it will be 2 balls to complete the over. Better line there. Dot ball to Eric Mukisa. Kakairi coming right arm round, bowling that ball across the body of the batter, trying to induce that feather to the wicket for the loss of 1 wicket. I beg your pardon. 25 runs needed in 78 balls. The mathematics looks to be in the favor of Mount Satima. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Mount Meru and Mount Satima, the men in red and black, needing all the help they can get. Richard Sohera changing ends to come from the highway end. The ball stays low to Mukisa and unable to put it away for a dot ball. Bowling into his legs. And welcome relief to Mount Satima. Dot ball. Standing out to be a very good over so far. Halfway done, Richard Sohera. And you pray that long may it continue for his side. Oh, and does all the good work, unable to get down to prevent that ball trickling under him and putting Mukisa off strike to bring the dangerous Conrad Lubuama. Clean balls him to get rid of the dangerous man. Good over so far from Sohera with 1 ball to go. Second wicket falls for Mount Meru. Moves his feet. Moved out of the crease but unable to get his feet to the pitch of the ball. Stayed a bit low and clean balls him. Good work there from Richard Sohera. See the joy on his face. The man with the fireworks having to depart now. Conrad Lubuama with a brilliantly crafted 50. His work is done, you would say, and the remaining batter should see his team cross the line. 24 runs needed in 73 balls. A look at his highlights there, depositing the maximums. $52 in 29 balls. 5 fours and 4 sixes. A blistering strike rate of 179.31 for Conrad Lubuama at the time of his departure. Final ball of Sohera's second over. And that will be a dot ball. Good over there. conceding only one and picking up the valuable wicket of Conrad Lubuama. At the end of the 8th, the score is 69 for the loss of 2 wickets. Another bowling change from the Forest end. Loikim Bamturaki with the ball. Bamturaki is able to swing the ball both ways. Daniel Muhumuza comes in to keep Eric Mukisa company, who is facing now. Starts off with a precious dot ball. It is not yet over until the fat lady sings, as the adage goes, and Mount Satima should feel that they are still in this game. Thick inside edge will bring up another single. But with the new batter in, you feel that Satima should be able to exploit that. Opportunity to catch. Man running in from mid-off, unable to pick up that one. Opportunity. Juggling act. Unable to complete that catch. The fielder unable to set himself. That ball dropping in front of him. Tries to get to it. That should be a dolly. Need to relax and catch. Opportunity dropped. That could have been a very big turning point in this encounter. If the Satima bowlers can run through the Meru batters quickly, then you have some bit of pressure. But right now, things not looking up. Another thick inside edge off the bat of Eric Mukisa. And you feel that the bowling from Loikin is now causing some trouble. Final ball of the over. hit straight. The fielder does well. Keeps that to 1. 4 runs coming off the first over from Loikimba Muturaki. 73 runs for the loss of 2 after 9. Eric Mukisa 13 in 16. Daniel Muhumuza 2 in 3. 20 needed off 6 balls for Mount Meru to notch up their first victory in this East African Safari T20 Cup. Proudly brought to you by Kingsley Children's Medical Center in Mukono, Deep End Sports Media, broadcasting and streaming partners. Follow this game live on their channel. Like and subscribe. Opportunity for a second run, but Mukisa wasn't interested. Sloppy running from Eric Mukisa. Bowls him. Wicket time. Tried to go for a big heave, but the ball was right on the target. Fit nowhere near the pitch of the ball. Swings for the heavens. But it is Richard Sohera having the last laugh. You feel a sense that with Sohera and now Bamturaki bowling for the Satima team, that they can create some pressure, pick up wickets, and make this game very competitive. 3 wickets for 74 runs in 9.2 overs in this contest. Sian Asif, the new man in. 3 of his mates are back in the hat, but the job almost complete. The job is almost done, but you cannot count your chickens. Richard Sohera having a blinder so far. Dot ball. And that's what happens when you have new batters at the crease. Takes a few balls to get in their groove. Balls him! Very, very poor technique. 2 wickets falling so far. And Nassif will leave without troubling the scorers. Richard Sohera, the man with the golden arm, keeping his side, Mount Satima, in this contest. Very poor technique from Sian Asif. Head up. Not looking at the ball as he tries to play it. Going for glory. Newman at the crease. Richard Sohera with the ball in hand. And can you believe that? 2 wickets in 2 balls. Richard Sohera dragging his team from the pit of despair, making this a contest. Look at that. Right on the money, off stump, unplugged. And now you would feel that Mount Meru in all sorts of trouble. No foot movement whatsoever there from the batter. It is the Richard Sohera show so far. Brilliant, brilliant spell. Has picked up 4 wickets so far, conceding 9 in just 2.5. This game is being completely turned on its head by Richard Sohera after the fireworks from Conrad Lubuama at the top of the batting order for Mount Meru. Required rate is 1.7 something. 18 runs needed in 61 balls with 5 wickets in hand. Final ball of the 3rd over from Richard Sohera. New man in is Nasul Damadi. Hat-trick opportunity for Richard Sohera. First hat-trick of the East African Safari T20 Cup. The first bowler to complete it, Richard Sohera. Nasul Damadi, no fit movement whatsoever. What a brilliant over from Sohera. Brilliant bowling spell. A fifer in 3 overs and conceding 9. An average of just 3 runs per over. He is the difference maker for Mount Satima. 4 wickets remaining to make this a very interesting contest. Halfway mark of the 2nd innings, 75 for 6. Loikim will continue from the forest end, but I told you that this pairing of Loikim and Sohera bowling in tandem has caused lots of problems for the Mount Meru batters. Picks up a vital one. Then there is no need to panic for Mount Meru, as most of the hard work has been done. Plenty of overs to play with, plenty of balls to play with. So just needs a cool head to see this through. Arthur Maguire, the new batman, in. No run. And you will feel that those dot balls will increase the pressure upon the batters. But like I said, needless at most, as most of the job has been done. 17 runs needed in 58 balls. A doable. From what looked like a foregone conclusion, the match completely turned on its head. Richard Sohera having a very big say so far in who ends victor in this contest. Goes Aerial, and that should be too poor running there from Humuza, opting to retain strike. But the cricket gods are usually cruel. Quick running in there to that ball to mid wicket. Final ball, but a dot ball will complete a very good Bamturaki over. Conceding only 2 of that one. The temptation now would be whether to keep Sohera back by the skipper, but I would bowl him through to complete his allotted 4, because he has been the difference amongst the bowlers. He has caused pressure, hasn't conceded runs, and picked up vital wickets. Made this a match worthwhile. Maximum, despite the attempts by the captain Akram Subuga right on the rope to keep that ball within the ropes. Lined it up well, and for a taller person that would have been an able catch. Changes as Subuga Akram now goes to cow corner. Nine runs to win for Mount Meru. Hits it straight down the ground. And the call comes in from the non-striker to keep it to 1. tries to sweep it to the leg side. Magua. Another wicket for Richard Sohera. A poor shot there from the inexperienced Arthur Magua. And if they are not careful, Mount Meru running out of wickets. 85 for 7. So far, 3 wickets to pick up for the Mount Satima. Very poor foot movement there. Off stump uprooted by Sohera Richard. A man with that arm finding the target more often than not. The target is 93 runs to win. Mount Meru 8 runs away. 3 wickets to pick up for Mount Satima. And 3 balls to go for the man who has picked up 6 wickets so far, Richard Sohera. New man in Eric Matovu. He did a good job while he had the ball in hand, but he will have to do some batting now. What a spell from Richard Sohera. Dot ball. Narrowly misses that one. What a spell from Richard Sohera. 6 wickets, conceding 16 runs at an average of, at an economy of 4 per over. Brilliant spell there. Dragging his line almost across the finish line. After 12, the score is 85 for the loss of 7. Mount Meru winning the toss and electing to bat first, restricting Mount Satima to 92 runs. Required run rate is just 1 per over. 8 in 48 balls. Good on drive. Sohera keeps that to 1. The countdown is on. Countdown for wickets, 3 to pick up. And the runs, 7 to get. Match evenly poised. The cries come out. The umpire agrees. LBW Eric Matovu. Loikemba Mturaki, the bowler. The cat is truly among the pigeons in this encounter between Mount Meru and Mount Satima. the first game of the East African Safari T20 Cup 2026 here at Florida Cricket Oval. Matovu pinned in the crease by Bamturaki. Umpire adjudging that ball to having gone on to hit the wickets. The conference, the mid-wicket conference is on for the men in red and black, realizing what a golden opportunity they have to complete a smash and grab. Richard Sohera obviously dragging them close and close. This bowling partnership of Sohera and Bamturaki causing all sorts of problems, putting brakes to the runs for Mount Meru. 2 wickets to pick up. We'll see Mount Satima win. And on the reverse of that coin, 7 runs, we'll see Mount Meru emerge the first victors in this tournament. It is edge of your seats cricket out there in the middle at Florida Cricket Oval in Kokonjeru. New man in is Andrew Hajaguju. Off the mark immediately, which will bring the more experienced Daniel Muhumuza onto strike. 6 runs to get in this encounter. Powerfully hit. That's hesitation between the runners. Keeps that to 1. The nerves are taut for both batters and fielders. Swing and a miss there from Andrew Hajaguju. The appeal is loud from Mount Satima fielders. What a brilliant spell there from Bamturaki. "13 overs gone, 88 runs on board for the loss of 8 wickets. And we apologize for our graphics, which will be updated shortly. That should be 2 from Andrew Hajaguju, reducing the deficit required to see his side to victory. Four runs required in 42 balls. 90 for the loss of 8 is the score after 13 overs. Bowling change from the highway end. Kakaire coming in now from the highway end. Not well connected there by Muhumuza. But it is 3 runs required by Mount Meru to win. Hajaguju and Muhumuza have a mid-wicket conference. Subuga Akram, the captain of Satima, makes the adjustments, brings the men in to the ring, cutting off all lines you would think. Short cover. Dot ball. Every dot ball increasing the pressure upon the batter. But it is just 3 runs. Full comedy of errors. Sees a wicket fall. Run out. What just happened there? Mount Meru doing all in their power to lose this game and snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. A well-struck ball. Pick up. And the run out completed. We are seeing a collapse of an immense magnitude by Mount Meru, a team that seemed to be on their way to victory, but doing their damnedest to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. A run available there, turned down by Andrew Hajaguju, resulting in Daniel Muhumuza being run out. One wicket to get for Mount Satima, and you feel that the trick by Subuga Akram, the captain of the Satima, choosing to bring in everyone into the ring, must have played on the nerves of the Mount Meru batters. Swing and a miss there. You would not want to be in the shoes of the young man. At one point it seemed like he would not get onto the pitch, but now asked to do some batting. Kakaire unable to dart that ball into the wickets, which will see his side achieve victory. 1 ball to go of this over. That ball finishes up the 14th over. 90 for 9 after 14 from Mount Meru. Akram Subuga, the captain, changing ends and coming into the attack to come from the forest end. It is anybody's match to win, and what an exciting encounter to kick off the East African Safari T20 Cup. Short run up, Subuga will come off, but don't be deceived by that, as he has that quicker ball. Andrew Ajaguju stands between him and victory. The pressure is out there. Dot ball upon dot ball. Mount Satima under Akram Subuga finally showing their fangs in this contest. 1 wicket to pick up and 3 runs to win. Another dot ball there. Keeper misses that in what would have been the final action of this contest. What a match we are having out here. Mount Meru won the toss, chose to bowl, restricting Satima to 92 all out. But Satima now coming out to defend that total. Subuga comes right arm round to the left-handed young man. Just one run to tie and two to win. And that will be that. Subuga Akram bowls the young man. What a match! Requiring just one to win. But Mount Meru unable to cross the line. And it is Mount Satima. All joy. What have they displayed this morning in this encounter? Defending 92 runs. The young man nowhere near that ball. Completely bowled. What a match, what a match, what a match. The match summary will be coming up, and yes, that unbelievable graphic on your screen, Satima winning by 1 run. And the summary of the card will show you Kakaire Joffrey 38 in 38, Ochaya Amil 26 in 49 in the first innings. The only notable scorers for Mount Satima: Eric Matovu 3 in 11, Sia Nasif 2 in 11, Mukisa Eric 2 in 8. The bowlers keeping Satima honest. But when it came to the second innings, Conrad Lubuama batted out of his skin, 52 in 29 to give them a good start. Mukisa Eric 13 in 17. The other batters not coming to the party, keeping this to single-digit scores. But the story will be about Richard Sohera, 6 in 16 in the middle overs, to put the brakes to the Mount Meru innings, finishing up with an economy of 4 with a hat-trick to boot. Kakaire Eric picking up 1. Bamturaki Loikin picking up 1, but working well in tandem. Mount Satima, the first victors in this East African Safari T20 Cup. And coming up next will be the Pochmas presentation. My name is Solomon Lubuama Chigozi.
Good afternoon and welcome to the post-match presentation of the first game of the East African Safari T20 Cup. A clash between Mountain Meru and Mount Satima. Mount Satima has won the game by just 1 run, but let me invite the captain for Mount Meru, Conrad. Wama, tell me what might have gone wrong in the game. Conrad, had luck in the game. You have Century. What do you make of your performance and what might have costed you the game?
I think me myself, I wasted my team. I had to bat through. I had to win this innings because I entered the game and got a good touch from the start. So I had to finish it good, but what should I say? Mindset. I should say next game I should apply a positive mindset. Yeah, that's all.
Hard luck and go well.
All right.
Let me invite the captain for Mount Satima, Akramu Subuga. Please come through. Congratulations upon winning the first game of the East African Safari. What did your team do well in the field when Conrad Ram had gone out?
Thank you so much. We just talked as a team. We said, let's fight. It's not yet over. Then the boys did it. It was a good fight.
What do you hope to do better coming in the next games?
We are going to talk with the boys. Then we sort ourselves. We see our mistakes so that we work on them.
Enjoy the win.
Thank you.
And now the player of match, a man who picked 6 wickets in the game. But let me invite the match umpire, Elizabeth Lachibule, to come and give out the award. Richard Sohera is the player of match. Congratulations, Sohera, 6 wickets for you. What was going on while you were bowling out there?
Actually, my team needed just to bowl wicket to wicket, and I kept on the discipline. That's how I managed to pick the wickets.
What do you hope to do better in the next upcoming games?
I hope to come back strong. It's my team to defend our results.
Thank you so much and all the best.
Thank you.
That is the player of match. We've come to the end of the first game and we'll be having another clash happening in the afternoon. Mountain Elgon will take on Mountain Kilimanjaro.